Alright, so we got this 68 W923 to the house last night, and we just cranked the wrecker up, and we're gonna try to get it straightened up and back it in that hole beside the Freightliner. For the time being, we need to switch this front axle out. This front axle's locked up. It come out of a burnt truck, and I've got that new axle to go up underneath of that 2022 Spicer, so we'll back it up in there and get everything set up. We don't have U-bolts, and I need to make spring airbag mounts for the front, so we'll get it back in there and figure out what we need, and then we'll get working on it. So and we got to move this cab back so we'll have room for the new spring mounts that go on the frame, the shackle mounts or whatever. So we got a little work to do, but we got it here where we can work on it. And we actually got our rear airbags in the other day, so we got them ready. We got to get a set of bags for the front, but we're going to use these 8 bags, 2 of these for the front. So we'll take a spring mount off, airbag mount off, and take the airbag off and use it to mock up, and then we can get the new one in when we have time. So that's what we're working on right now. So we'll get it together and get it mocked up and everything, and then, but the biggest thing right now is to get it in that hole right there. So, and if we have to, we'll move those rear ends back a little bit more. And we might even, I don't know, we might even try to daggone do the suspension over here. I don't know. We'll see. Y'all know that these housings have to come out from underneath this Freightliner. That's the Meritor housings we're going to use, and we'll put these Spicer housings back up under there, and then we'll get our new diffs put in and all that stuff. But I'm getting a little ahead of ourselves. First thing we're going to do is get this thing straight up in the yard and get it back in that hole there. So y'all hang tight. Should be about built up with air. So we'll get that done and see what's next. Alright, so that went rather easy. Way easier than I expected. So we actually got it down in. We need to pull it up just a touch because the frame is touching the tire on one of them rear ends, but it's really, I'm really happy the way it landed here. So we'll get we got to move some stuff here. So I want to get that axle. If I could get the axle down here somewhere. I don't know if I can get, I got to move that chassis right there. That's a top kick chassis that's going under that 72 wrecker there, the yellow one. That way it'll have 4-wheel disc brakes and modern suspension up underneath of it. But it's kind of got hemmed in here, so got to do something about that. And I got to get over here and move some stuff so I can get this axle off the back of the trailer. So we're gonna work on that and see what we can do. Let's move this. That's the 46's original frame. We'll move it back a little bit and maybe move that car dolly right there, which you might not have to move the car dolly. and we can just back right up here with the boom pole and scoop this axle up and get it over there to the 68. So that's what we're gonna work on now. All right, so we got this front axle moved over here. We got it on the back of the truck, or hanging on the back of the truck. Got the 389 air ride springs on the back. So we in a position to where we can cut all this loose and try to get this going. And I think, I don't know, I might take these two wheels that don't have tires on them and just stick them on this axle so I have a way to roll it around. I mean, it ain't gonna hurt them just to roll it around in the dirt. Or I guess I could take these tires off. I guess I could do that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we got it set up now where we can get started doing something with it. It's not really in the way. Daggone, I could have come back a little bit more, actually. So I might do that. Back it up just a little bit more. And that'll put this axle a little bit closer to where it needs to be. I don't know. I don't think it much matters, but we might back it up just a little bit more so when we unhook it from the wrecker, it won't be right in the middle of the driveway or whatever. I don't know. I think it'll be all right. All right, so that's what we got for the time being. Ready to start making things happen. It's been a long while in the making trying to get this thing here, so we'll try to get going on it and see what we can do. So we got a few things we can unbolt off of this before we start cutting anything off. Like I said, we get a couple airbag brackets. Maybe figure out where we're gonna move the cab mounts to. I think I moved this rear mount right here. I moved it. It's moved back now because I had to move it to get the transmission out. But I had moved it, and I think I turned it around. I have to go back and look. It's been 2 years since I worked on it, but I think I turned this cross member around and moved it up. And I think I want to put it back where it was. And that way it'll get, like I said, I want 12 inches. I want to move this thing back 12 inches to get room for this engine right here. And then we'll center the hood once we get the axle switched out and get the springs on it. We'll center the hood and the wheels, the wheels and the fenders, whatever. We'll center the hood up, and then we'll get the cab straight, figure out how much we need to add onto the hood, and we'll work out everything as we go. I mean, that's what it is. So y'all stay tuned, and we'll show you as we go.